I need outside perspective, and honestly, I need to know if I'm going crazy. For the past 4 years, Alex, 32M, and I, 30F, have had a relationship that looked perfect on the surface. We met in college, we have overlapping friend groups, we live in a beautiful apartment, and we're the couple everyone says, I wish I had what they have. But lately, everything has started to feel like a carefully constructed facade, and now, my entire social circle is looking at me like I've sprouted a second head. The hook is simple. I asked for a half-hour of quiet time after work. That's it. That's how this entire mess began. Alex and I have been together for 8 years, living together for 5. We have a solid foundation, or so I thought, built on mutual interests and a lot of shared history. Alex works a pretty chill, hybrid job that gives him flexibility. I work in a high-stress, client-facing environment where I often don't have a moment to breathe until I step through our front door. 4 years, I just accepted that when I got home, Alex would immediately launch into his day's events, or ask me 20 questions about mine, or need immediate help with whatever home project he was neglecting. I'd try to smile and power through, but I'd often end up irritable, snapping at him over small things, and then feeling guilty later. About 2 months ago, I read an article about mental load and burnout. It clicked. I realized I was carrying 90% of the emotional labor and household management, and I never had a moment to transition from work me to home me. I decided to tackle 2 things, the household chores division and the quiet time boundary. I brought it up calmly on a Saturday morning while we were making coffee. I was very gentle. I started by saying, Alex, I love living with you, but I need to talk about my mental health and how we manage our downtime. I explained that I needed 30 minutes, just 30 minutes, after I walked in the door to decompress. No questions, no requests, just silence while I changed clothes, grabbed water, and sat down. Alex initially seemed receptive, but his words felt hollow. He said, Of course, babe. You know I support you. Just say the word. But the way he said just say the word already felt like he was framing my need as an extra chore for him. The first day the boundary was tested, I walked in exhausted. I hadn't even set my bag down when Alex came around the corner. Hey, can you look at this email from my sister? I need to respond right now, and I can't figure out the tone. I froze. I was still holding my laptop bag. Hey, I need my 30 minutes. I literally just walked in. I'm overwhelmed right now. Alex sighed dramatically, dropping his arms to his sides. Seriously? You're going to be rigid about this? It's 2 seconds. I'm just trying to get it done. I kept my voice even. I know, but I need this time to be consistent. It's not fair to me to immediately jump into problem solving. I walked into the bedroom. 5 minutes later, he came to the door. So, when can we talk about the weekend plans? We have to book the reservation before 6 p.m. Alex, this is my time. Please leave me alone for 25 more minutes. He backed away, but not before muttering something under his breath about me being unapproachable. The incidents kept piling up. It was always a quick question, a small emergency, or an urgent just need your opinion on this. He never violated the letter of the rule, but he constantly violated the spirit of it. If I was silent, he would follow me around humming loudly, or starting a noisy task right outside the bedroom door, making the quiet time useless. I also tackled the chores. I made a shared list of weekly tasks, splitting them 50-50ths. He agreed readily, but his execution was atrocious. He'd do his tasks haphazardly, wiping the counter without cleaning the actual mess, or putting dishes away wet, or doing half a load of laundry and leaving the rest sitting in the machine. When I pointed this out, he'd either become defensively angry or deeply passive-aggressive. Wow, sorry, Queen of Clean. I guess my effort isn't good enough for you. Or why are you micromanaging me? Just be glad I did it at all. The guilt trips were subtle but effective. Every time I enforced a boundary, He would act like a wounded puppy, sighing loudly, moping around, and making me feel like I was the cause of his unhappiness. This emotional manipulation started to wear me down. I began dreading coming home because I knew I would have to fight for my boundaries all over again. The shift became noticeable to our friends when we were out. Alex would make little comments designed to paint me as the difficult one. If I ordered a specific drink at a bar, he'd lean over to our friend, Jake, and say, "See? Can't just have a regular beer. It always has to be complicated with her now." If I declined an invitation because I genuinely needed a quiet night in, he'd tell the group, "Oh, she's having one of her solitude nights. She needs to recharge because I exhaust her, apparently." He'd say it with a joking smile, but his eyes were hard, and the implication was clear. I was the fragile, demanding one. I started feeling like I was walking on eggshells. I couldn't ask him to do anything without expecting a 10-minute debate or a sulk session afterward. I started doing his half of the chores again just to avoid the tension and the shoddy work. The quiet time boundary? I gave up on it most days, opting to dive straight into dinner prep just to keep my hands busy and avoid conversation. The real breaking point came last week, over something incredibly small, a stack of mail. Alex is terrible about sorting the mail. He lets it pile up on the dining table until it's a physical mountain. I asked him, very gently, to please clear it off since we were having people over on Saturday. His response was immediate and explosive. "Why is it always me? Why do you always have to tell me what to do? You're becoming so controlling lately, I feel like I can't breathe in my own house." I stared at him. "It's your mail, Alex. And I asked you once, nicely. You let it sit there for 2 weeks. I am not controlling, I am asking for basic tidiness." The confrontation over the mail led to a massive, screaming match, the worst we've ever had. I finally let out all the resentment I had bottled up over the boundaries being repeatedly ignored and the subsequent gaslighting. "I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for respect for my requests and my time. When I ask you for 30 minutes of quiet, and you follow me around humming, that's disrespect. When I ask you to clean the kitchen, and you do a half job and then mock me, that's disrespect. I feel like you're actively fighting me on everything I need to maintain my sanity in this relationship." He didn't yell back immediately. Instead, he pulled out the classic Alex maneuver, victimhood. He lowered his voice, looking genuinely hurt. "I can't believe you see me as someone who would actively sabotage you. I've been trying. You just have impossible standards. Maybe you need to figure out why you're so angry all the time instead of blaming me." That night, we slept in separate rooms. It felt like the end of our 8 years, but I felt a twisted sense of relief. The next day, I had lunch with my friend Maya, who is also friends with Alex. I started to explain what happened, thinking she would understand the pressure I was under. But Maya cut me off, her expression a mix of pity and confusion. "I know, honey. Alex told us about it." I felt a cold dread sink in my stomach. "Told you what?" "He called us all last night. He said you've been picking fights over nothing, demanding things be done your way or no way, and that you're so tense you're impossible to live with. He said he's walking on eggshells because you're suddenly turning into this militant version of yourself, and he doesn't know what to do because you're driving him to a breakdown." The words hit me like a physical blow. He didn't just disagree with my boundaries, he preemptively weaponized them. He had gone to our mutual friends, our entire core group, and framed my attempts at self-preservation as me becoming a monster. He didn't just share his side, he completely reversed the narrative, making himself the suffering partner dealing with my sudden, unreasonable demands. I left lunch immediately, shaky and furious. I got home and found Alex watching TV, looking relaxed, like nothing had happened. "We need to talk," I said, my voice dangerously low. He sighed, already defensive. "Can it wait? I'm watching the game." "No. It can't. You called all our friends last night and told them I'm impossible to live with because I asked you to clean up your own mail. He didn't flinch. He leaned back on the sofa, crossing his arms. Well, I had to talk to someone, didn't I? I was upset. And if you're going to be so clinical about everything, making rigid demands about quiet time and military-style tour charts, what am I supposed to say? I'm trying to process why my partner is suddenly turning against me. I am not turning against you. I am setting healthy boundaries. And you responded by running a smear campaign against me to the people we both love. That is manipulative, Alex. That is emotional abuse. He laughed, a short, dismissive sound. Abuse? Are you hearing yourself? I'm allowed to talk to my friends when I'm stressed. You're the one who is isolating yourself with all these new rules. I told them the truth. You're making life difficult. The sheer audacity, the lack of accountability, and the immediate flip of the script left me speechless. He truly believes he is the victim, and now, my support network believes it too. I looked at him, realizing the person I thought I married doesn't exist. He's a charming facade that cracks the moment he has to put in effort or respect my needs. I didn't argue anymore. I just walked into the bedroom, started packing a small overnight bag, and drove to a cheap motel across town. I needed space to breathe without feeling watched or judged, and most importantly, without having to fight for the right to silence. I feel utterly betrayed, isolated, and mentally exhausted. The hardest part is knowing that if I try to explain this to our friends, they will see it as me confirming Alex's story, that I'm the overdramatic, difficult one who can't just compromise. I'm mourning the loss of a relationship I thought was real and realizing I may have to rebuild my social life from the ground up. I'm sitting here now, in this sterile motel room, looking at 8 years of shared life dissolving over 30 minutes of quiet time and a pile of junk mail. What do you think? Should I stay or leave? If you were in my shoes, what would you do?